All right, folks, let's settle the age-old debate. To spit or to swallow? Whether you're single and wondering what women really think, or married and trying to keep things hot and connected, this one is for you. For some, it's a power move, and for others, it's more like a love language. But whether you've done it, avoided it, faked it, or Googled it at 2 a.m., you've probably wondered, does swallowing mean that she's freakier, more experienced, or better in bed? Or does spitting kill the vibe or just keep things real? Well, let's end this debate with 5 things you should know about spitting versus swallowing. From what it means in partner dynamics to some surprising health and taste facts, and all the misconceptions that people have about the subject, I'm giving it to you today. Whether you're giving, receiving, or just trying to figure out what feels good for you or is worth caring about, stay tuned. Before we get into the 5 truths, let's look at what real women are actually saying about this debate. On Reddit and other forums, women are surprisingly candid. Here's a sample of what they've shared in their own words. I swallow because it's easier and keeps the moment going. Spitting feels more awkward. For me, it's an act of intimacy, like saying I accept you fully. Honestly, the taste can be gross sometimes. If he hydrates and eats clean, it's much better. I'll spit if it makes me uncomfortable. It doesn't mean I don't like the guy, it means I have a boundary. It depends on my mood. Sometimes I swallow, sometimes I don't. Neither means I love him more or less. So as you can see, women's experiences and opinions vary a lot, which is exactly why we need to break down the myths and the meaning behind spitting and swallowing. So let's get into it. Number 1, what it means and what it doesn't. Let's start by unpacking the symbolism. Some people view spitting or swallowing as more than just an act, but a signal of enthusiasm, acceptance, confidence, or even love. And for some, that symbolism is a huge turn on. It says, I want all of you. I'm not afraid of your body. I'm not afraid to be a little freaky. I'm really into this moment. One woman put it like this. For me, it feels like saying, I accept every part of you. It's not about technique, it's about intimacy. While for others, it's less about what they actually think and more about what they've learned from porn and from the general culture. I mean, let's face it, most of us have probably absorbed the idea that swallowing is the hot, confident, and sexy thing to do, while spitting is less sexy, more awkward, and not as quite in the moment. But here's what swallowing doesn't mean. It doesn't mean that someone loves you more, or that they're better or more comfortable with sex, and it definitely doesn't mean that they're more into you than someone who spits. The truth is, some people love the taste and sensation and others don't. Some swallow by default because it's easier, even though they may not really enjoy it. Some do in committed relationships or on special occasions, or maybe never at all. Whereas for others, it's completely mood dependent. But none of that defines anything about anyone's values, anyone's worth, or anything about the relationship. What matters is that it is a choice, not a performance. Number 2, porn is the wrong manual. Whether we want to admit it or not, mainstream porn is a big reason that swallowing is seen as sexy, eager, and almost expected. But there's one element that many people look past when it comes to porn. Swallowing is also convenient. As one woman nailed it online, porn makes it look like swallowing is the sexy default, but half the time it's just for the camera. Neat, tidy, no cleanup. When a woman swallows after a blowjob, it gives the viewer a clean and tidy wrap up to the scene. And even if you don't consciously expect that from your partner in your sex life, sexual scripting theory tells us that we absorb a lot from the media that we consume. So whether you're a giver or receiver, it's always good to ask yourself first, is this what I want, or is it what I think I should want? Get curious about your own desires and the meaning that you attach to them, and don't let porn or anything else be the manual for your sex life. Number 3, taste matters. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Taste does have an impact, and there is some funky spunk out there. And for those of you who are curious, what does it actually taste like? I recommend just tasting it for yourself. I mean, you're the factory after all. Try your supply. It's not weird to have a little sample. But in short, usually ejaculate is salty, a little bitter. It can be nutty or even bleachy. Texture-wise, it can be thick and very sticky, or thin and watery. At the end of the day, it's a bodily fluid, and it hasn't been engineered for flavor or mouthfeel. And some women don't swallow because they simply don't like the taste, which is fair enough. As one woman online bluntly said, it tastes salty and sometimes bleachy if he hasn't been eating well. I'm not putting that in my mouth. She actually goes on to say that she would rather have him finish on her chest or her neck than get it in her mouth at all, which I actually think maybe the question shouldn't be spitting versus swallowing. It should be like in your mouth or not in your mouth. Semen is made of proteins, enzymes, bodily fluids. There's a lot going on in there. I think most women are not expecting your jizz to taste like honey, but if you're not taking care of yourself, things can get a lot more bitter. Proper hydration, supplements like zinc, eating celery, parsley, mint, and yes, pineapple juice can all make a difference over time. That reminds me, this subject is actually what got me kicked off of TikTok at one point. So please do subscribe and join my email list in case I ever get kicked off of YouTube. Plenty of women confirm this too. One shared, when my partner drinks water and eats clean, it's a world of difference. While smoking, dehydration, and even certain medications can actually make the taste worse. So if taste is a barrier for you or your partner, maybe it's something that you can work on. Number 4, the health benefits myth. I love this one. You've probably heard at one point in your life that semen is packed with protein or that it's even good for your skin. But let's clear that up. Yes, semen does contain protein. It also contains zinc and enzymes and sugars, but the amounts are very, very, very small. They're nutritionally meaningless. You would get more protein from an almond. As one woman joked online, if semen was a superfood, we'd be bottling it and selling it at Whole Foods by now. So right on that. And as for skincare, I'm sorry to say, but it is not a magical face cream. Any glow that you've heard of is probably more from getting laid than having semen on your face. The truth is that it's generally safe to swallow or rub around on your skin as long as your partner is free of any STIs, but it's not a superfood, it's not a beauty hack, it's not an antidepressant, and yes, I have seen that myth out there. So if you want to swallow, enjoy it, but don't do it for the health benefits. Number 5, it's all about comfort, communication, and consent. If you've been following me long enough, you probably saw this coming. As with all things sex and relationships, the pillars of any good experience come down to comfort, communication, and active consent. So whether you're the giver or the receiver, your voice and your preferences matter. You want to swallow? Amazing. You don't want to swallow? Amazing as well. You want jizz on your chest? Cool. You want it to stay in the condom? Awesome. What really counts is how you talk about it, how you feel about it, and what you do about it. No matter your part in it, never come from a place of shame or expectation. Approach this subject with curiosity, like what does spitting or swallowing mean to me? What does it mean to you? Is that something that you'd be curious to try? Are you open to experimenting? And what would make the experience feel safe or sexy? When it comes to sex, our preferences are rarely black and white. There's pretty much always context, a spectrum of options, and some interesting history there. Unpacking that context and history together paves the way for better connection, more exploration, and more pleasure. What if sex could feel easy again? No pressure, no panic, no performance, just connection, just pleasure and confidence. That's what my book, Harder, Better, Longer, Stronger, is here to help you experience. It is a practical, no-shame guide to performing at your best. Not just through control, but through trust and confidence in your body. This is the work that I have done with hundreds of men all over the world to help them to enjoy sex, maybe for the first time. You already have what it takes. You just need a roadmap, and that is why I wrote this book. Pre-order now and grab exclusive bonuses, live event access, and entry into some phenomenal giveaways. The link is in the description, or you can visit CaitlinVneal.com/HBLS to sign up. When it comes to spitting or swallowing, you get to make your own rules. Now, you've just heard my expert take here and the research and the coaching and the nuance, but if you want my personal thoughts, my uncensored thoughts, my experience, and how my opinions have changed over the years, and yes, the stories behind them, that is all what I save for my Patreon. On Patreon is where I get to share the behind the scenes stuff, like what I've done, why I did it, and how I feel about it now. So if you're curious about the parts that I can't share here, Patreon is just a couple clicks away. Plus it costs less than a couple coffees every single month to unlock a whole other level of Caitlin V. And of course, I'll still be here on YouTube every week giving you free, honest, shame-free sex advice and education, so hit that subscribe button to stay connected. Thank you for watching. I'll see you here next time. Bye.